So the topic that I'm covering today is proposal power, how to write a compelling art exhibition proposal. Super important topic, and that's why I'm here. It's one of the things I love talking about. I've been writing about this. I've been doing sessions about this. I've been doing workshops about this in colleges, universities, artist groups, and I've done courses about this. This is one of my favorite topics. So you will see why as I go through. I have found the power of writing compelling exhibition proposals, and I'm going to show you that power today and give you some tools that you can use as well. So you're in for a treat. It's going to be really, really good. First of all, I want to answer one question which might be in your mind. Why writing proposals? Sergio, why in the world should I write a proposal? Why? Give me a good compelling reason why should I learn how to write a proposal. Because first of all, it's not easy. It's not the thing that we wake up as artists in the morning and like, oh, I'm super excited, I'm going to write a proposal today. No, it's the one thing that we leave for the last minute, we leave behind, we don't want to do it. It's too much work, too much writing, blah, 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 right? So why would I write proposals? And that's a great question, and I want to answer that question right now. Here's the answer. A proposal is a professional and effective way of asking for something you want. A proposal is a professional and effective way of asking for something you want. So my question is, what do you want? What do you want? I can tell you what I want, and I can tell you how I've used proposals in many ways, which I'm going to show you today, to get what I want, what I'm looking for. A proposal is a wonderful way of asking with the right words, with the right visuals, in a professional manner, effectively, you're going to learn today, for asking for things that you want, right? I want things in my career as a curator, as an artist, an entrepreneur, and that's why I learned early on in my career how to write proposals. I have been writing proposals now for many years because I want things to happen for me in my art career. And from that point forward, I made a personal mantra. I said, I can sit down and wait for an opportunity to come my way, right? Or I can get up and make opportunities for myself and for others. Because I had found a key, which was, okay, I can wait here, but probably nobody's going to call me because nobody knows who I am. But now I know if I write good proposals and if I put them in the right hands of the right people, probably more opportunities can happen. Not only for me as a curator, but also for others that I will bring into these shows. And that's kind of that was the big show, that put me in the map. And, many artists who are now professional, who now have their own careers, went through the MFA biennial. Maybe some of them were sent by their schools. And I'm very proud of that show. But that was my first show. I was not afraid to do a big ask. It was a big ask. Nobody knew who I was. But, sometimes you think, well, Sergio, it's easy for you because you've done big shows, you have a lot of exhibitions, to make proposals. That was my first one, my friend. Nobody knew who I was. I had never curated a big show ever, other than my little gallery with my friends, and, but I did the research. I sit down, I work really hard, and I put it together. A couple of years later, the curator, Oscar, who was the head of the JoBR Center, the curator, he left. And all of a sudden, the art center had no curator. So I thought, again, me thinking, I always like to think, like, okay, I can wait, for the art center to put a call for curators or open an application, to find another curator. Or I can step up right now, write a proposal, write my own job description, and give this to the Joe brothers, who were the owners of the art center. Two very well-known international artists who run and own the art center. So I'm like, I'm going to do this. So I sit down, I wrote a proposal of how I envision my position as curator and director of exhibitions could look like, what I was willing to do, how I wanted to be compensated. And I was afraid, I was scared. Like I had never had a curatorial job in my life other than running my little gallery. I didn't went to school to become a curator. I went to become an artist, and then I became also a designer. But never a curator. I learned by making and by looking at others and asking questions. So I write this proposal, I give it to them, and then I don't hear anything for a few days. Until then I get a call. Says, Sergio, come and sit down. We want to talk about your proposal. And that, my friend, is what gave me the opportunity to become up to today, for now over 10 years, the head curator and director of exhibitions for the JoBR Center here in Chicago. I wrote a proposal. I did not wait for them to start looking, I wanted to step up to the plate. And again, using the same ideas. Okay, what is it that they want? What is it that I want? How can we work together on what you want and what I want? That makes sense. The problem with a lot of proposals is that a lot of proposals are based on you. You know, what is it that you want? It's all about me, 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 me. You gotta ask yourself, how does that benefit the other person that I'm proposing this idea to, right? I proposed to my wife when I wanted her to marry me. And you know, that was a proposal, right? I had to, of course, not a written proposal, but I had to ask her, and I had to ask that I was rehearsing the words, how I was going to say, what I was going to say. You know, I was sweating when I proposed. You know, a proposal is a big ask. And that's exactly the same thing. You know, when we as artists have ideas and we want to do things, you know, sometimes we just got to be bold. We got to stop the voices in our head that says, you know, nobody knows who you are too small, your art is not good enough, and so on. I mean, we wrote a whole book about it, the Crucial Sabotage book, which, by the way, you should read it if you don't have it just yet. Look for it on Amazon. Crucial Sabotage will help you in that. You know, my wife and I, we wrote this book. But, you know, that's something that I always believe. The worst thing that could happen is that they say no. The worst thing that could happen is that the curator, Oscar, has said, you know what, it's not a good idea, or it's not for me. That's fine. I didn't. It's a no, right? The job is gonna say, you know what? No, just wait until we open for applications. But you know, I was bold, and I think boldness paid off. Doesn't always. I've gotten many no's, by the way. I want to make sure I say this. I've written many proposals that have said no's, that have been no's, and that is okay. I don't keep track of how many. I cannot tell you because there are too many. It doesn't really matter to me. They don't bother me. When you send a proposal, there's always 3 possibilities: either yes, maybe, or no, and I'm okay with either one.